one of the things we ranked in the past was our favorite TV dads of all time, and the response from you guys was actually really good. We had a great collection of TV dads spanning back to 50s, 60s, and we're kind of hoping to get that same response from you guys about this certain group. We didn't get a lot of backlash. Most of our picks were pretty respected, but if we did the dads, we gotta rank the moms, of course. You know, this is dads rank things, but hey, we give shout outs to our moms all the time. So
again, this is not best moms. This is our favorite
TV moms. So, you know,
clarification.
I think the Bradys would be in there for best, but we're gonna focus on our favorites. Right. All right. So for me, one of my favorite shows in the past couple decades was Everybody Loves Raymond.
Hey.
So. But I went down and I had Deborah Barone as one of mine, but I didn't stop there. I had to slash it because I don't think Deborah's as good as Deborah without Marie Barone. All right, so I had Grandma and I had
You
Mom.
like Marie, huh, as a character?
Oh yeah.
I got Deborah as my number 2. But
Marie had to put up with Frank. So when I think about it,
no, Frank had to put up with Marie. That's my opinion.
Get out of here. So when I think about it, I'm like, they basically had to work together. They had both, and so I
they butt heads a lot too.
That's what makes it great.
They're opposite ends of the spectrum, I think, on moms. Where Deborah lets things happen. Of course, she's the mother of twin boys, which anybody who does that is a saint. And she had a complete emotional repertoire with her eyes. Like her eye rolls and everything were just classic. She convey a wheel of emotions just with her eyes.
And so you had overbearing.
Yeah, overbearing
protect her kids till death.
Right.
Marie.
Right.
And then Deborah was the opposite, and she just couldn't realize how a mom in this day and age could do what she was doing, and she couldn't realize why.
Right.
That's why I think they're both great moms. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite lines in TV history. Okay, I know we've kicked around. We'll probably have movie quotes coming here. TV quotes, something you don't really talk about, but we should. It'd be a good one. This might be. Should I save it as my number 1? I'm going to give it to you. So Frank and Marie are arguing, and Marie, says to Frank, you can't just treat me like this. I'm not some sort of trophy wife. There's a great pause, great comedic pause from Frank, and he looks at her straight in the eyes and he says, "What prize in hell did I win to have you as my wife?"
That's pretty good.
So that's one of my favorite lines from TV history. But those two kick us off, and you can give us a little bit more about your Deborah Barone.
That's a good balance back and forth. But yeah, Deborah was my number 2. So my number 3 is Harriette Winslow from Family Matters. So Harriette is one of those where she's strict, but she loves you. And that's what I like in a mom, to make sure she still has a soft heart, but she's going to be hard on you for a little bit to force the best out of you. A little known fact about Harriette is that she actually graduated from the police academy with Carl, but when they got pregnant with Eddie, she had to give it all up to stay at home. So that's the reason why
a good mom does.
She has to go through all those jobs and through the whole show of Family Matters, through the 8 seasons that they had, but it's because she gave up her early career for Eddie, to be a mom.
And she's got to put up with Urkel.
It's true. Yeah.
You didn't even weigh that in there.
Yeah, but another thing about that show is Urkel. She knows that Urkel loves Laura, so she never leaves the two alone. If you notice in that show, in every single scene where Urkel and Laura are messing around, Harriette never leaves. She never leaves those two alone.
Moms, take notes. Don't let your daughters around creepy kids. My number 2. If you followed our TV dads list, you'll have the husband of this one, but I had to go with Claire Dunphy on this one. Came back, ended up being a good working mom, but she's got to put up with her goofball husband. We can kind of relate to that for our wives. She likes her wine. She's pretty normal. And I think that's I know it's Modern Family is the name of the show, but she's kind of the modern day mom,
super mom,
and tries to do everything, and sometimes fails. And I think that's what's kind of good about the show and good about Claire Dunphy.
So another one of those where it's strong but caring at the same time.
Not even as caring. She'll be a smart ass sometimes rather than a nurturer.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's where we're going a little bit with moms. Should I go my number 1 or you want to go?
I'll go my number 1. Okay. I don't know if we'll have the same one or not because we both love the same show. That is Bonnie Kelly from Always Sunny. So yes, aka Charlie's mom, and it could be Mac's mom too. Again, this is the favorite moms, not the best moms, favorite moms.
I like how you said that it could be Mac's
Could be
mom
Mac's mom too. We don't necessarily know. But every single scene that she's in, she steals, because in a show of rational people, she is perhaps the craziest one, but also the most lovable one. Like, who hates Charlie's mom? Nobody hates Charlie's mom.
I love Charlie's
mom.
mom.
So for me, she's my favorite TV mom because, again, every single time she's in a scene, she's funny, but also she loves Charlie. She's one of those that's a little bit overbearing sometimes, but she loves her son or sons in the show.
Wow. That surprises me.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good surprise. I'm going to go off the beaten path a little bit for my number one. But my number one TV mom is Carmela Soprano. That's right.
It went dark.
It did get dark on us. The mob wife of one of the greatest mob actors of all time, Tony Soprano, mob bosses of all time, I should say. Carmela, look. Let's be honest, she dealt with a whole bunch of shit, okay? And her being able to put up with Tony for as long as she did, still maintaining her quality Catholic faith. Resiliency, raising 2 kids, being tempted by the dark side of guilt throughout the show. But yet holding it all together and trying to keep the family running on the most normal possible level while knowing mob secrets and Tony killing people, etc., etc.
No snitch either.
No snitch, no. Right? She never sold out.
Yep.
Was loyal to her husband. AJ, what an awful, awful kid. You know, get that kid out of here. I think he ended up in like a psych ward or something in the last season, and he deserves it. And she handled it very, very well. And still cared for him. That's a good quality, strong, tough mom that had to go through everything. Carmela Soprano.
Like how we went opposite ends of the spectrum. The nonsense comedy, and you had a very, very dark show.